Welcome to Mother-Daughter Projects. I'm Steph, and this is my beautiful pond that came with my house. When I moved in, it was in disrepair, and I paid for it to get back in working order, but throughout the years, it's yet again stopped working and really needed a whole new liner, pump, and electrician to do the wiring correctly. The last straw was my new dog, Tosh, wanting to get in the pond, and as you can see today, this water was not something that I wanted her in. So today we're going to show you how we removed the pond and what we replaced it with. First, we had to remove the mosquito fish that were in the pond. Once the pump stopped working, this was still water and the perfect breeding ground for mosquitoes. A neighbor of mine brought me some mosquito fish a few years ago, and that's been helping keep the mosquito population down back here. Mom spent a few weeks fishing out all the fish and rehoming them. We would have normally pumped out the water, but the reason we are doing this project now is the pond happened to spring a leak and the water started leaking out. You can see there was a lot of leaves inside the pond, which we are cleaning out, and we're waiting for all the rest of the water to drain. And while we waited, we removed the rocks from the outside of the pond. And shout out to my dad, who helped a lot with the heavy lifting in this project. Here are all the rocks we removed from around the pond. We're not sure what we're going to do with them, but we'd figure that out later. If you're wondering about the pavers around the pond, I put them there a while back to help deter Tosh from getting in the pond. Once all the water was removed, my dad cleaned out the rest of everything that was on top of the liner. There was also a stump in the corner with branches that started to grow, and I'm cleaning that up with our chainsaw. And Dad's going to take care of that stump in a future step. And the liner pulled up easily, and we were able to ball it up and put it out for big trash day. We realized there was a mound of dirt on the top part of the pond that we were able to use to start filling in the hole and rehome these plants. We filled in the hole with as much of the existing dirt as we could, and oh boy, the dogs started to really enjoy all the dirt, which was very counterproductive to filling in the hole. We considered getting a truckload of dirt delivered to the house, but the minimum was more dirt than we needed, and I didn't have any flat surface that it could be delivered to. So we found the cheapest topsoil that Home Depot sold, which was under $3 for a 40-pound bag of dirt. This is the first 10 bags that we got and added to the hole. Before we finished filling the hole, we rented a stump grinder from Home Depot Rentals, and Dad spent some time getting that stump gone. As you can see, it produced a lot of sawdust, and we were able to put that in the hole so we would maybe need less bags of dirt. This footage is super sped up, but if you ask my dad, he would say yes, this was a lot of work. I didn't use the stump grinder, but I have used one in the past. Mom and I grabbed 10 more bags of topsoil, and again, we're making some progress, but we're still not there. We also bought a tamper to flatten out and compact the dirt. Off camera, Dad bought 30 more bags of dirt, and we finished filling the area. In all, we used 50 bags, which was about $120. We had to use more than expected because there was so much inconsistency around the pond. Next, we added weed barrier to help prevent weeds from coming up through the dirt, and to give a good foundation for the pea gravel we added. We are securing it to the ground with garden staples. And then we started adding lots and lots of pea gravel. Dad and I made 2 trips to Home Depot and used 35 bags. It was around $175. And if you're wondering why we use pea gravel, that's because that's what makes up my whole backyard. This yard is pretty shaded, so grass doesn't really have a fighting chance back here. We laid out the bags and then cut them where we wanted to place the bags and just spread it evenly. And can you spot where Mac marked the pea gravel as her own? Silly puppy. To fill this new big space in my backyard, I decided to get a small gazebo. This will provide a nice sitting area and a place for the dogs to get out of the rain when they need to do their business. I ordered this on HomeDepot.com, and I think it came in about 2 days. It was really fast. I was super impressed with how it was packed and shipped and how simple it was to assemble. You don't even need tools. This is all the hardware that it comes with, and you can see you just hand twist them in place. I started the assembly inside, but quickly moved outside as it pretty much needs to be built in place. All you need is a buddy and a ladder, and it's really straightforward. You might notice that it did start raining. That's because it's Florida, and when it says there's no rain in the forecast, it's still probably gonna rain. But we pressed on to finish. The reason I decided to go with a non-permanent structure is for 2 reasons. One, I couldn't find a structure without an aluminum roof, and I thought that would scare the dogs when rain is hitting it. And 2, we have hurricanes here in Tallahassee, Florida, so I decided to get a structure I could take apart when we know a hurricane is coming. I did have to take a quick dog break here because Max sometimes freaks out when I'm on a ladder. And of course, at some point my battery died, so those 2 side pieces connected really easily and the fabric roof just slips right into place. Lastly, it comes with these stakes that go into the legs to secure the structure to the ground. Again, it will be annoying, but if we have a hurricane, I will dismantle the structure for safety. And lastly, we decided to put the rocks from the pond around this top area where the ground has a little bit of a slope. We thought it would look nice and also help people from slipping down. We also made a cute little walking path with some of the flat rocks. And here it is, our new hangout space. We moved this outdoor storage round that we had and put these chairs in place, and it's coming together pretty nice. The dogs don't love it as much as they love the pile of dirt, but they'll be okay. This gazebo is actually made for a grill, so this is where you would actually hang some grill tools. But these hooks are perfect for putting some of our outdoor tools and our dog brushes. What we learned?
Well, I think the biggest thing we learned was you need way more dirt and pebbles to fill in this yard.
Yeah, and one thing that was nice is I actually was looking at Home Depot for the products, and they had a calculator on there that you can measure. You tell them the dimensions of your space, and they give you an estimate of how many you would need, and that was actually really helpful. We ended up filling more space than we originally thought, so we did need more bags, but it was a good way of getting an idea of how much it would cost.
Mm-hmm. If we were to give you any piece of advice, we'd say take your time. If you're going to be doing a very large backyard makeover like this, it's very labor-intensive work and it's very tiring. So take breaks, enlist some help, and just give yourself plenty of time to do it. Don't try to do it all at one time.
And fun fact, if you saw a few weeks ago, we posted a video about making assembling a 4x8 trailer. The very first trip we used our trailer for was to get the stump grinder that we use in this video. So that's a fun little fact there, and it worked. It survived.
One of the best things is the Home Depot's curbside pickup, especially if you're ordering heavy things like bags of dirt and bags of rocks like we did, because you can just order online and they will bring it out to you and put it in your car. No heavy lifting.
So if you like this video and want to see more from us, please visit us at motherdaughterprojects.com and hit the subscribe button here on YouTube and hit that bell so you'll be notified when we post a new project. All right, Mom? How about a cold one?
I think it's time for one.
Let's do it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Nice.
It's good.
Do you know what this is? If you know, you know. Let us know.
Yes.